Following the stabilization of the rift in Verdant Shadows, my reputation as a mediator and guardian grew, attracting more visitors seeking solutions to interdimensional issues. Phantom's Hollow buzzed with a dynamic mix of energies, bringing new challenges and learning opportunities each night. Despite the increasing demands, I found a profound sense of fulfillment in my work, extending far beyond the bar's original scope. One crisp evening, as the Hollow thrummed with a lively crowd of interdimensional beings discussing reities over drinks infused with cosmic dust, Elias approached me with a contemplative look. "Cora, you've turned the Hollow into a hub of peace and negotiation," he began, his tone reflective. "However, with great power comes great responsibility. Are you prepared to handle the increasing pressures without losing the core of what makes this place and you special?" His question made me pause. I had been struggling with the balance between my duties and personal well-being, albeit quietly. "It's challenging," I admitted, wiping down the bar and setting glasses in their places. "I love what I do and believe in the Hollow's mission, but sometimes I worry about burning out." Elias nodded understandingly. "It's important to find a balance to ensure you don't lose yourself in the service of others. Perhaps it's time to consider expanding your team, sharing the responsibilities, and allowing yourself to focus on what you do best." The idea of expanding the team was appealing and practical. It would distribute the workload and bring fresh perspectives to managing the Hollow's diverse clientele. Over the next few weeks, I took steps to do just that. I interviewed various candidates, each with their unique talents and backgrounds in the mystical arts. Eventually, I selected a few who not only shared the vision of the Hollow, but also brought additional skills that would enhance our ability to manage the complexities of our clientele. With a new team in place, I found more time to engage with our patrons, to listen to their stories and learn from their experiences. This deeper interaction also allowed me to explore new aspects of my own abilities, particularly in understanding and manipulating the subtle energies that flowed through the Hollow. One evening, as a new delegate from a distant astral plane discussed the nuances of starbound treaties, I felt a sudden shift in the air, a ripple of energy that suggested another convergence was imminent. This time, however, I felt more prepared, supported by my team, and confident in our collective ability to handle whatever the multiverse threw our way. As the energies intensified, we worked together seamlessly, each member of the team playing their part to stabilize the flux and ensure the safety of all within the Hollow. The convergence passed without incident, leaving behind a sense of collective achievement and camaraderie. Later, reflecting on the night's events, I realized how much I had grown. I was no longer just a bartender, or even just a guardian. I was a leader, a mentor, and a pivotal figure in a community that spanned dimensions. Watching the patrons slowly depart, Vincent came over and placed a hand on my shoulder. "You've done well, Cora. The Hollow is thriving under your leadership, and you've built a team that truly understands the essence of this place." As I locked up for the night, I felt a deep connection to Phantom's Hollow, not just as a place of work, but as a living entity that had grown and evolved with me. Walking home under the starlit sky, I knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, I was ready for myself, the Hollow, and the myriad worlds we touched. The days following the successful handling of the convergence, we brought a newfound sense of unity and purpose to the team at Phantom's Hollow. However, the relative peace was short-lived. A new challenge emerged that would test our capabilities and the resilience of our bonds. It began on an ordinary evening, with the Hollow humming and the usual eclectic mix of patrons. The air was filled with otherworldly music and the rich sense of cosmic cuisine. I was behind the bar, discussing the nuances of interdimensional mixology with a young apprentice when a sudden silence fell over the room. The music stuttered and stopped, and a cold draft swept through the space, carrying a whisper of discord. Turning toward the source of the disturbance, I saw the doorway darken with the presence of a new figure. Unlike our usual guests, this one exuded an aura of turmoil, his appearance shifting and flickering like a poorly tuned broadcast. He stepped forward, his eyes scanning the room with confusion and desperation. "I seek sanctuary," he called out, his voice echoing oddly, as if out of sync with his movements. Vincent, always attuned to the needs of our guests, nodded to me and approached the figure. "You are welcome here, traveler. How may we assist you?" The traveler's relief was palpable, but it was short-lived. As he moved further into the hollow, the air around him began to crackle with static energy, a sign of dimensional instability. It was clear he was not just a visitor, but a carrier of a rift, unintentionally tearing at the seams of our reality. The team sprang into action, their training under Elias coming to the forefront. We needed to stabilize the rift without harming the traveler or endangering the hollow and its patrons. As we coordinated our efforts, I realized the challenge was unlike any we had faced before. The rift was deeply entangled with the traveler's own life force, making it delicate and dangerous to untangle. Using a combination of magical suppressants and energy diffusers, we managed to isolate the rift's influence. Meanwhile, I engaged the traveler in conversation, seeking to understand his journey and how he had become entwined with such a disruptive force. His story was a tapestry of missteps and misfortune. A novice dimension hopper, he had unwittingly traversed into a volatile plane, absorbing its chaotic energies. His arrival at the Hollow was as much about seeking help as it was about finding refuge. As the night progressed, we worked together, blending our skills and knowledge to heal both the traveler and the tear he had brought with him. The process was exhausting, demanding a level of focus and energy that tested our limits. Finally, as the first light of dawn began to filter through the windows, the air cleared and the traveler's form stabilized. The rift was sealed and the danger had passed. The hollow returned to its usual vibrant hum, but the sense of accomplishment was tinged with fatigue. The team gathered around the bar, sharing quiet congratulations and relief. Vincent looked at each of us, his eyes warm with pride. "You all did exceptionally well. Today you didn't just keep the hollow safe, you saved a life and repaired a tear in the fabric of our universe." As the team dispersed to catch some well-deserved rest, I stayed behind, cleaning up and reflecting on the events. The challenge had been great, but it had brought us closer together, each member proving their worth and commitment. Phantom's Hollow was more than a bar or a sanctuary. It was a home, a school, and a beacon of hope in the chaotic tapestry of the multiverse. Walking home in the quiet of early morning, I felt a deep, satisfying exhaustion. My responsibilities were heavy, but I was no longer carrying it alone. I had a team, a family bound by our shared purpose and experiences. As the rhythm of daily life at Phantom's Hollow settled into a comfortable cadence, marked by the clink of glasses and the murmur of multilingual discussions, a strange, almost imperceptible undercurrent began to stir beneath the calm. The first sign of trouble appeared during a hectic night, with the Hollow teeming with a vibrant mix of interdimensional travelers. The air grew thick with the scent of ozone and ancient earth, reminiscent of old, forgotten magic. The patrons paused, their conversations dwindling into uneasy silence as a faint vibration started beneath the floorboards, growing stronger with each passing moment. Elias, mentoring a group of apprentices in the subtle art of dimensional alignment, was the first to react. "Cora," he called across the bar, his voice tight with concern, "something old has awakened." "We need to check the archives." I nodded, feeling a surge of adrenaline as I followed him to the back room where the archives of Phantom's Hollow were kept. These archives were records of past events and repositories of powerful artifacts and ancient spells that had been sealed away for safety. As we entered the room, the source of the disturbance became apparent. One of the oldest tomes, a grimoire bound in weathered leather and sealed with alchemical sigils, had come alive, its seals glowing with a pulsing light. The book was supposed to contain spells of protection that dated back to the founding of the Hollow, but now it seemed one of those spells had been triggered. "We need to contain this before it escalates," Elias said, his face set in a grim line as he approached the tome cautiously. With careful precision, we worked together to reinforce the containment spells around the grimoire, combining modern enchantments and traditional wards. The process was delicate, each step requiring both concentration and a deep understanding of magical laws. As we worked, I couldn't help but wonder what had triggered the ancient spell. The Hollow had always been a crossroads of energies, but something specific must have disturbed this powerful magic. Once the immediate threat was neutralized and the grimoire again lay inert, we turned our attention to investigating the cause. Reviewing security enchantments and interviewing patrons, we pieced together that a recent arrival from a forgotten dimension might have carried with him a fragment of a spell that resonated with the magic sealed within the grimoire. "This was a close call," I remarked to Elias as we wrapped up our investigation. "We need to be more vigilant. The Hollow isn't just a bar or a meeting place. It's a living archive of some of the most powerful spells known to the multiverse." Elias agreed, his expression thoughtful. "Perhaps it's time we consider training more of our staff in the deeper arts of magic containment and historical spells. You've built a strong team, Cora, but as the Hollow grows in importance, so too must our capabilities." In the days that followed, I organized workshops and training sessions for our staff and our regular patrons interested in understanding the magical foundations of Phantom's Hollow. The community responded enthusiastically, eager to contribute to the safety and stability of our shared space. This incident had not only reinforced the importance of vigilance, but it also deepened the sense of community at Phantom's Hollow. As I watched our diverse group of patrons and staff come together, learning from each other and strengthening our collective defenses, I felt a profound sense of pride and purpose. Phantom's Hollow was more than a nexus of dimensions. It was a testament to the power of unity and knowledge in the face of unknown challenges. And as its guardian, I was more determined than ever to ensure its legacy continued to thrive. In the weeks following the incident with the ancient grimoire, the atmosphere at Phantom's Hollow shifted perceptibly. The patrons, once merely visitors seeking refuge or entertainment, now engaged more deeply with the fabric of the Hollow, contributing their knowledge and power to fortify it against potential threats. The community's newfound unity was timely, as rumblings of a deeper, more ominous threat began to permeate our gatherings. One evening, as a storm brewed outside, mirroring the turbulent energy within the Hollow, a messenger from the Dimensional Council arrived unannounced. His appearance was startling, even to our eclectic crowd, a being of pure energy pulsating with a light that seemed inviting and dangerous. "Cora, Guardian of the Hollow," the messenger addressed me directly, his voice resonating through the room, silencing the murmurs of conversation. "A rift of unprecedented power has been detected threading through the dimensions. Its path leads here, to your doorstep. The Council requests your aid in addressing this threat." The weight of his words hung heavy in the air. I nodded, aware of the gravity of the situation and the role I had come to play. "Tell us what needs to be done," I replied, my voice steady, despite the apprehension that flickered like a shadow within me. The messenger outlined the Council's plan, a coordinated effort across dimensions to seal the rift, requiring a nexus point of powerful energies and bonds. Phantom's Hollow, with its unique position at the confluence of numerous world threads, was the ideal anchor for such a plan. In the aftermath of the rift's sealing and the following celebrations, a quieter, more reflective mood settled over Phantom's Hollow. While the immediate danger had passed, the event left a lasting impression on the physical space and the community that called it home. The Hollow had once again proven to be more than just a crossroads of realms. It was a crucial bastion against the chaos that lurked between worlds. As winter deepened, bringing with it a blanket of snow that muffled the usual sounds of the city, I took to spending my mornings in the archives of the Hollow. Surrounded by ancient texts and artifacts, I found a solace that balanced the frenetic energy of my nights. During one of these quiet sessions, Elias found me with a thoughtful expression on his face. "Cora, you've done well to manage the crises that have come our way, but I worry about the burden you carry," he said, pulling up a chair beside me. "The role of guardian, while rewarding, can also be isolating. How are you holding up?" I paused, considering his words. The truth was, the role had grown beyond what I initially imagined, and with it, the weight of responsibility had increased. "It's been challenging," I admitted, marking my place in the book I was reading. "But I feel a sense of purpose here that I haven't found anywhere else. It's just, sometimes I miss the simplicity of just being a bartender." Elias nodded understandingly. It's important to find balance, Cora. Remember, the Hollow isn't just built on your shoulders alone. You've created a community here, a family. Lean on them and remember to take time for yourself. His advice resonated with me and reminded me that leadership wasn't just about steering the ship, but also about tending to the crew and to oneself. Motivated by our conversation, I decided to delegate more, to trust in the team I had trained, and to give myself the space to recharge. Over the next few weeks, I implemented these changes. I trained senior members of the staff to handle various aspects of the Hollow's operations, from managing the bar during peak hours to overseeing the training of new recruits. This not only empowered them, but also freed me to focus on broader issues and personal development. The effect was palpable. With the staff taking on more responsibilities, the atmosphere of the Hollow became even more vibrant. Patrons noticed the change, appreciating the diverse energies and interactions that came from having a variety of leaders in charge. Feeling more balanced, I returned to my roots occasionally, tending the bar, mixing drinks, and chatting with patrons about their worlds and travels. These moments reminded me of why I had fallen in love with Phantom's Hollow in the first place. One evening, as I mixed a particularly complex cocktail for a traveler from a distant galaxy, I realized how much I had grown. The Hollow hadn't just given me a job, it had given me a world, a cause to fight for, and a community to belong to. As the traveler thanked me for the drink, praising its perfection, I smiled, feeling a deep satisfaction. You're welcome. It's good to remember the basics, the simple magic of a well-crafted drink. Walking home that night, under the clear skies and the twinkling stars, I felt lighter than I had in months. The weight of the legacy I carried was substantial, but I was not alone. I had a team, a community, and a magical sanctuary that thrived on mutual support and shared strength. Phantom's Hollow was more than a nexus of mystical energies. It was a testament to collective care and leadership power. And as its guardian, I was ready for whatever the future held, armed with the knowledge that the true strength of the Hollow lay in its people, together weaving a tapestry richer and more enduring than any spell. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more spine-chilling tales. Don't forget to hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest videos. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and share your scary encounters. Also, consider joining the Fear Frequencies community for exclusive perks and early access to new content. Your support helps us create even more thrilling stories. And if you really enjoyed it, please consider leaving us super thanks.